Come on down. You're the next contestant on Price is Right Wrestling, and your grand prize for tonight is watching Robert Roode take on Rex Steiner in a terrific match. Unfortunately, we're also going to give you more Grayson Waller and more of Wendy Choo Choo, the Narchuleptic, because, my God, we just can't get away from all the cartoonish bullshit because Vince McMahon just cannot get his head out of mid-90s WWE Raw. Woo! Let's get to it. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE NXT 2.0. We're just a few days away from NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, and they are in the American Airlines Center. That is an 18,000 to 21,000 seat capacity venue, even if they only want to do half capacity. That would be around 9,000 to 12,000, depending on, how big the stage will be, whatever the configuration will be. And apparently, according to sources, they have sold about 3,700 tickets. I'm no math major because Steiner math eludes me because nobody can be smart enough to understand Steiner math except our Lord and Savior Scott Steiner. But that isn't very good. That isn't good at all. And if they plan on selling that motherfucker out, they aren't going to be able to. They'll be lucky to do 10,000 if you can even try to do 2-for-1 ticket deals. I will say that the Stand Deliver card actually does look pretty goddamn good. But despite that, this show is a fucking goddamn mess. Despite any of the talents here, they insist on doing more romance angles where everybody's horny for no goddamn reason. They have matches that basically are just to lead the angles that really feature a lot of people that could mean something good if they were featured properly. And look, I understand not everybody is going to be a top guy or a top woman. There are some women I would like on top of me. That's another story for another day. I now know that I got all the women viewers on my channel, all 5 that are left, to immediately turn off. I understand that a revamp was needed, but fucking hell, if that is what you're going to feature as part of your main event, just scrap the NXT Women's Tag Team Division. Just scrap the tag division altogether. So Hayes and Tricky Dicky Williams arrive, and they are here to talk about it. They're here to talk that talk. Whatever the fuck that means. They join commentary for Roderick Strong versus Solo Sakoa. Match wasn't bad. Roderick can work. Solo Sakoa is certainly not bad. I think it's going to take him a bit to find his groove, but he's got ability. Escobar shows up to basically taunt everybody because his suit game is strong. I think that's how the kids say it. And a big splash, 1, 2, 3. Solo Sakoa advances. I was a bit shocked. I expected Roderick Strong to, actually advance, but all right. And Indy and Persia are debating about Instagram followers, TikTok views, and debating whose kiss was better. They should kiss to decide who the winner is. So anyway, let's just move on from that. Loomis took on Tony D'Angelo. Loomis had Dookie Nukie Hudson, Indy, and Persia in his corner. Tony D'Angelo had his crowbar. Why he decided to take possession as Devon Storm, considering I thought that human ownership was actually illegal, I'll never know, but the match was fine. But Wade does talk about Dookie Nukie Hudson's tongue action, and he seemed to know a lot about it. That's really all I'm going to say right there. At one point, Persia decided to use her grip strength and her grip game, I believe as the kids say, and her grip game was strong, and then she jerked too hard, and Tony D'Angelo's crowbar flew right into the face of Loomis, meaning that Persia inadvertently gave Dexter Loomis a facial, and 1, 2, 3. That's it. Tony D'Angelo wins. Then Tony calls out Ciampa, who sneaks up from behind, does a fairy tale ending, and says, "This may be my last hurrah, but you're not going to take me out." Okay. So Mackenzie is with Dolphin Roode. Roode says that, well, he's a former NXT champion. I think he had to remind Creative of that because that seems like forever ago. And don't get me wrong, I like Roode. He's going to be 46 in May. He still moves incredibly well. He's a great talent, is somebody they could use as a wrestler and part-time coach. He's somebody that absolutely has a wealth of knowledge, has traveled the world, worked in Impact for a number of years, through the good, bad, and indifferent, and has been great in WWE, despite the fact they haven't really used him all that great most of the time. Sometimes they have, a lot of times they haven't. And then WWE talks about Women's History Month with the Bellas. They're tremendous influencers. They're fearless. They could have found other women to talk about other than the fucking Bellas, because I will die on this hill, the Bellas were not really good for WWE. Oh, they got a bunch of people to watch for Total Divas. Okay, great. I used to watch Total Divas. I'm not necessarily going to just fully credit the Bellas for that, but whatever. There are people that like the Bellas. That's fine. I'm glad they're not going to be part of Mania 38, the most stupendous two-night WrestleMania in WWE history, though we still have another SmackDown, a Raw, and another SmackDown to add more people. Watch them throw the Bellas in last minute for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Fatal 4-Way, make it a Fatal 5-Way, and watch them give them to the Bellas. I would actually not be shocked if they somehow did that. I hope they don't, though. So anyway, Elektra Lopez, I have made my points. Grayson Waller and his bottle of sangria, that bottle's just standing there. Grayson Waller talks about winning the North American Championship ladder match while wearing that shirt. I feel like I said this often. Who told Grayson Waller, that shirt was a good idea? Fallon Henley, the former Tesha Price with Brooks and Dunson, took on Elektra Lopez with Legoland Phantasm. And the men get involved in a fracas. Yes, cowboys and Mexicans, tale as old as time. It's like JBL trying to play border guard. If you remember that happened in 2004, and WWE thought that was a good idea. Admittedly, I laughed, but I also laugh at a lot of dark shit. So, I was totally fine during this, by the way. Totally fine. How dare anybody accuse me of anything otherwise? Elektra Lopez, my goodness. Fallon Henley has a good look. I don't necessarily know about this country girl thing, but whatever. And Blue Thunder Bomb Variation 1, 2, 3. Elektra Lopez tops Fallon for the victory. Joe Wayne Gacy have been blowing up Draco Anthony's phone, and Zion Quinn says, "Don't worry, I've got your back. Rock, stop thinking about Zion Quinn. I know you're thinking about it." So, Rude gets his glory holiest entrance, and he won't give in until he thrusts and is victorious. And he will defend, okay, enough of the glory hole talk. So we go to break. At least they played glorious, that was nice. And then we're backstage with Mackenzie, Dakota Kai, and Anar Chulepic. Have I mentioned how much I despise this Wendy Chu gimmick? Not the person, I don't have anything against the fucking person. Oh, she's a really good wrestler. It's a stupid gimmick. You guys can like it. That's fine. I'm not going to knock anybody for liking this. But I find it embarrassing. Whoever came up with it, especially if it was anybody in creative, deserves to be hit with a freaking sack of doorknobs. Or maybe, soap and socks like in Full Metal Jacket. And then maybe that person can... No. Let's just scratch that right there. The whole point is it's a stupid gimmick. If she's such a great wrestler, let her be a great wrestler. The Dragon Lady, the 1,000-year-old ghost, was a better gimmick than this. And I hated that. Anytime this gimmick exists, every second this gimmick exists, it's embarrassing for professional wrestling. I say the same thing about Orange Cassidy and a few others and New Japan, stuff like that. So my opinions on, comedy bullshit tend to run deep. Because I think you can have comedy, you just need to not have it be bullshit. Rex Steiner took on Rude with Ziggler. Of course, Dolph did say at one point on commentary, we're going to set an example, get beer money, and get back on the road. James Storm is coming. I'd like to see James Storm in WWE. Reunite beer money. Even if it's only for a little bit. That's the kind of nostalgia on a different stage they could do for a 6-month to a year run. Because both guys at this point aren't probably going to be wrestling for too much longer. But I think James Storm is either in the NWA or doing freelance work. I'm not all that sure. As expected, it was good. Ziggler got kicked out at one point. There was a Frankensteiner where it looked like Steiner landed on his shoulder. Hopefully he's all right because he was favoring it. He did his Steiner line, a spear out of nowhere, but then Rude hit his glorious DT for 2, and then got hit with the clutch or the catch slam 1, 2, 3. I hope that Rex actually didn't suffer a shoulder injury and that he's all right and he was just selling. Because God forbid, we don't need that guy injured, and we definitely don't need we definitely don't need one of the few good things on NXT 2.0 television. One of the only good things that has happened since this revamp occurred to be out sidelined for any amount of time. So Ziggler then hits a super kick while Rex is on the stage. Okay, there you go. More Indy Loomis Persia Dookie Nukie stuff, and suddenly Loomis says, "Oh, so I couldn't beat Tony D'Angelo. Who can you beat?" And he decides to do caricature stuff. Obviously, he had done most of this, but he draws really good shit. And he said, "Who can you beat?" And he shows a picture of Gunther, aka Walter, the good name, not Gunther Stark. And I know that that's not what they're calling him. That's what they base the name on, so it's a fucking tainted name. Also, made into a cartoon. I mean, whatever. Loomis did what he did. It is what it is. Can you beat him? Yeah, sure, I can beat him. So Chase and Bodie Hayward are talking about Von Wagner at Chase University, and Bodie decided to Bodie up, as it were, and yell, "Where'd you get that anger? Who taught you to talk like that?" And Chase was asking, and Bodie said, "I got it from you, Dad." Oh, wait, no, I got it from you, Chase. If anybody gets that reference, I got it from you, Dad. If anybody gets that, I will be shocked. So, Grayson Waller took on A-Kid. A-Kid barely got a entrance this week. I'm going to run that joke into the ground because why not? It's a North American qualifier, and Grayson won. Yay, good, more Grayson Waller. Just what I want to fucking see on my television. And then Hayes and Tricky Ticky Williams come down, and they say, we're going to take the 3 losers, and whoever wins in the next week's triple threat is added to the ladder match. And then, Tricky Ticky says that he's going to take A-Kid's A-Mama. Okay. So then Von Wagner tried to talk. He also can't multitask. I can relate. And some blonde, Sophia Cromwell, my goodness, showed up and wanted to talk business with Robert Stone. I don't think she's aware of Robert Stone's business as far as, helping women succeed. Ain't exactly a great track record. But whatever. Anybody that can take the focus off of Von Wagner, which then again, you could have a piece of cardboard over there, and actually would then say, well, why is there a piece of cardboard standing next to Von Wagner? Oh, wait, I can't tell the difference anymore. Crap, the forehead jutting out, that's Von Wagner. Or you could just make the cardboard jut out a little bit, and it would look exactly the same. So, the grizzled hung veterans are soon to be rectimized as losers because they lost to the Creeds. That's really about it right there. And then we cut to 2 hooded guys destroying the Diamond Mine locker room. Malcolm Bivens taking a lot of L's, as the kids might say, or L's. I don't actually know how that'll look on camera. And clearly you can't find us, so we'll find you. This is shown in text window. It's a good thing the graphics department found a way to add the text windows there. So the graphic people are in the pocket of not MSK. It's clearly not MSK. How dare you say otherwise? Stand and Deliver in the American Airlines Center. I said again, they are not going to sell that thing out. They won't even get it half full unless they do 2-for-1 ticket specials, and even then. Walter chopped the fuck out of Dookie Nukie Hudson. My God, he beat his chest red. And then powerbombed him, 1, 2, 3. And then Walter called out LA Knight. And then Walter knocks him. You had a lot of talk. You do a lot of talk. That gets you into title matches, but you can't get the job done. And LA Knight says, well, how about we have a match? And I was going to come out and use my words, but since that won't work, let's try something else. He hits him, and then Imperium glom him, and an MSK rundown, and that's really it right there. And Grimes talked about how his father passed away, and he wants to win the North American Championship to help honor him. Okay, that's good. He wants to go to the moon with his dreams. So they show a close-up of Toxic Attractions' box, as it were, but Wade is away from their box because Wade can't be that close to their box because of a court-appointed distance. Even though you would think that being that close to somebody's box, I mean, you would almost have. I'm gonna stop talking about their box for right now. Stand and Deliver rundown. Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray against Dakota Kai and the Narcoleptic, the Dusty Classic Finals. I know that Wendy Chu is such a great wrestler, and that's fine. This was embarrassing to watch Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray. Io Shirai, especially one of the best in the world. Kaylee Ray, former NXT UK Women's Champion, have to go along with this shit. Oh, she can wrestle. Take that shit off. Give her some wrestling tights and actually let her do some stuff. Otherwise, no. I've written off believing any of this bullshit. And then, at the very fucking end, after Io Shirai hits the moonsault, there's this confetti and all this stuff. Toxic Attraction get out of their box, and Mandy says, well, you're not going to be able to win the tag titles or whatever, and here's what's going to happen. Kaylee Ray and Io say, well, how about we cash in our opportunity, but make make your match with Cora Jade a fatal 4-way. So unless unless Gigi or JC are hurt, then this makes the whole tournament pointless, because now all of a sudden we just have, Kaylee Ray and Io win a tournament, a prestigious tournament. So prestigious, we had a person that sleeps in a ring, sleeps during matches. It's so fucking stupid and bullshit, and I hate it. You had that happen, and now, just throw a tournament out the window. Now they got a tag title shot. What I think is going to end up happening is I think you're going to have Gigi and JC confront Dakota and Wendy backstage on next week's show or something, and we're going to get a match there, and we're going to get that match added on, and Wendy Choo-Choo, the Narchuleptic, and Dakota are going to beat them for the tag titles, unless, again, one of them is injured, and the women's tag division is going to die because we have a cartoon bullshit gimmick as a champion, and it's dumb. But we here at Price is Right Wrestling would like to remind you to control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.